Hey there, my name's Paul, and this is Out of Neutral, a weekly tune-up where we look to the Bible to get in gear and follow Jesus into the life he came to make possible. Today I want to talk about how Watergate convinced me that Christianity isn't based on a lie. The more lies that we're exposed to, the more difficult it is to believe anything. Theranos' founder, Elizabeth Holmes, probably told herself it was just a matter of fake it till you make it. But the false claims that she made about revolutionizing blood testing had billion-dollar implications. Bernie Madoff convinced people he was worth trusting, but his Ponzi scheme robbed investors of $20 billion and earned him a 150-year prison sentence. The Fyre Festival, Tinder Swindler, and Anna Delvey as the Sinfluencer of Soho have all put the spotlight on people's capacity to perpetrate fraud and lie if it's to their own advantage. Could that be how Christianity's claims of miracles and a Messiah were first spread? Did Jesus and his disciples set up a Ponzi scheme and lie their way to religious prominence? There was a time when I would have thought so, but Watergate convinced me otherwise. Chuck Coulson was once known as Nixon's hatchet man and one of the Watergate Seven. He was convicted in 1974 for conspiring to cover up the Watergate burglaries and went on to serve time in federal prison. As his arrest was pending, Coulson visited Tom Phillips, a friend whose life had seemed to change since becoming a Christian. As he talked about what had happened, Phillips read to him a portion of C.S. Lewis's book, Mere Christianity. It dealt with the sin of pride. Coulson recalled later, "A proud man is always walking through life looking down on other people and other things. As a result, he cannot see something above himself immeasurably superior, God." Coulson tried to act cool as he listened. He was, after all, a former Marine captain and a notorious White House tough guy. But afterward, he said this, "When I got in the car that night, I couldn't drive it out of the driveway. I was crying too hard, calling out to God. I didn't know what to say. I just knew I needed Jesus, and he came into my life." Coulson's conversion was remarkable, as was the way that he committed the rest of his life to prison reform and ministering to prisoners by proclaiming hope and putting in place structures that affirm their dignity and provide for their restoration. But it wasn't the story of how he came to faith that changed how I saw Jesus and his followers. Coulson reflected on how he and his colleagues in Nixon's inner circle responded to the Watergate cover-up. He said, "Here were the 10 most powerful men in the United States, and with all that power, we couldn't contain a lie for 2 weeks." Now, to clarify, they could contain a lie as long as it was in their best interest to do so. Elizabeth Holmes could contain a lie as long as it made her successful. And Bernie Madoff could contain a lie as long as it made him rich. But what Coulson was saying was as soon as there was a hint that holding to the lie might adversely affect them, Nixon's aides were tripping over themselves to get their story out and so reduce their liability. Applying his experience in Watergate to suggestions that Jesus' resurrection was a fraud deliberately spread by Jesus' disciples, Coulson said this, "Take it from one who was involved in a conspiracy, who saw the frailty of man firsthand. There is no way that the 11 apostles who were with Jesus at the time of his resurrection could have ever gone around for 40 years proclaiming Jesus' resurrection unless it were true. The apostles would have sold out to save their skins." Now, this doesn't deal with all of the objections. The disciples could, of course, have been sincerely wrong. But the fact that they endured persecution, imprisonment, and death, all the while declaring that Jesus Christ died and rose from the grave, makes it very difficult to believe that they were just spreading a lie. Who would continue to lie about something that cost them so much and gained them so little? And if they are credible witnesses of such a remarkable event, don't they deserve to be heard? If this is new to you and you think it's something you'd like to explore, I've written a free 12-week course called The Unstuck Life that walks you through the essentials of Jesus' teachings in daily bite-sized messages that you can read or watch by video. To learn more, go to gracebc.ca/getunstuck. That's all for this time. If today's video has helped you get out of neutral, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and subscribe to join us on the journey.